Right, we're here with Welling United player coach Jack Parkinson after a superb 2-1 victory for the Wings away at St Albans. Jack, we knew they was going to cause us problems, so the longer they didn't score, obviously, the better for us. Did we start the game as we wanted to?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think we've obviously forced into two changes today, with myself and Jeffers being out, and with Archie coming in, I thought was outstanding. By the way, because I thought their best player by a long shot was Reece on that side. So we knew there was a threat going forward. We knew their two wide boys were quick and were quite direct, and they try and get the ball out to them quickly. So it was important that the two fullbacks defended well. And I thought if we could nullify their two wide boys, that we had more than enough going forward. And I think we've done that.
Did you think throughout the whole of the game we dominated possession and did more with the ball, but they had a lot of spells wide? That was really their threat, wasn't it? Getting wide and trying to get balls in.
They was at home, so they was always going to have a spell at some point. But I thought we managed the game well. We had a spell for about 10 minutes in the middle of the first half, and we gave the ball away a little bit cheaply. But it was important to on a big pitch. It is a big pitch here as well. That we did try and play. We went with obviously with Jebby, Joe, and Brad Goldberg to try and force us to play a little bit more. And I thought it worked.
Yeah, starting basically we had one striker on the pitch in our formation with Tom and Eli on the pitch. Was there any thought of playing more than one striker?
No, I wouldn't disclass Joe as a centre forward. I think Joe can play up there, and Joe's been one of our best players of recent. And I think what's that, 6 and 7 he's now scored. So I wouldn't. Joe can play up top, and that was the idea of it today. Try and get. Brad's got very clever movement and he's good into feet. Joe looks to run in behind at times, but he's an aerial threat as well. And I think that on a big pitch like this, it was quite important that we did try and pass it. And obviously with the wide boys that we've got, and Jeffrey being such an outlet on one side and Nana being out on the other, we was always going to cause them problems going the other way.
Great time to score as well.
Yeah, look, it's always just before our time was always a nice time to score. But as you say, it was a very well worked goal. I feel we deserved it. I thought we didn't really pepper their goal too much, but on the same time I thought we had enough possession that we deserved to get in front, and it was a good goal. Yeah, and as you say, going at half time 1-0 away from home was pleasing.
And then to come out and get the second goal, Jack, that's you saw the way the players reacted with the fans. That must have made the bench feel superb.
It did, and do you know what? What was pleasing was we've got such a tight group here that everyone is in it together, and it shows you when the lads do come off the bench, and Eli's come on, and Bradders has come on, Jack's come on, nothing changes, and it was a good time to score, to make it 2-1, but I think again it was deserved,
2-0.
Yeah, sorry, to make it 2-0. I thought it was deserved. It was a great run from Jebby, and I thought we caused some problems all afternoon. But on the flip side of it, I think it is also important to mention Dylan. Dylan's pulled off 2 or 3 big saves at the right times today, and so it just shows collectively it was a good performance.
Yeah, and then disappointing to let a goal in at the end, but then happy to see it out fairly comfortably after that.
Yeah, look, as a defender, I'm sure they're saying in there, or we did say in there, it was disappointing to concede because I think we deserved a clean sheet. Don't be wrong, Dylan's pulled off a couple of good saves, but I thought we defended excellently for 90 minutes there. So it was disappointing, but you know what? More importantly, it was to come away from home after a defeat last week. It was always important that we bounced back, and I thought we've done that, and we've done that very well.
Fans today, lots of good numbers as well, especially after a defeat on Saturday. Yeah. To come away and make a lot of noise. I thought they were superb. Because we're coming up to Christmas as well, Jack, and people are counting them pennies.
No, listen, the fans, I've always said it, the fans have been brilliant, and especially the ones that travel away from home. They travel everywhere with us, and it's the support is massive, and I think it shows now that players, as you say, you see with the second goal that there's a little bit more of a bond now with the players and the fans, and long may it continue. No one's getting carried away with ourselves. We're where we want to be. We've got some tough games coming up. We've had some tough games in recent. We've only lost 1 now, and we've won 6 out of our last 7, so we're on a nice little run. Dylan, we can't sign again until January, so that's obviously disappointing, but we're hoping that Clayton's going to have another week now to get his back right, so hopefully Clayton should be fine coming into next Saturday.
So you see Dylan as possibly having a future at the club, and we'll be looking to bring him in January if we can, if the situation stay the same?
Things change in football, don't they? And Dylan's been brilliant for us. If Clayton comes in and does well, wants to stay in January, then there'll be a decision to make, won't there? If Clayton does want to go in January, then there'll be another decision to make. Things change every day, so you can't look too far ahead, but I'm sure if Dylan is available come January and we're looking for a goalkeeper, then we'll be one of the first people to speak to.
We had a Christian play today, Jack didn't, but Jack came on and done well. Is that showing that we have got the strength in depth where we can rotate and play players in different positions quite comfortably and not really disrupt us? And like you say, we'll give Archie a mention because he's not had a first team game for a while, when he's come in against Reece, who is one of the most dangerous wingers in the league. So to put in the performance that he did, you must be absolutely chuffed with him.
Archie was brilliant. He he knew Reece obviously from last year anyway, so he knew what threat he was, and I think he defended well. Let's not take Nana out of the equation here, because the reason obviously we're playing Nana there today, and it was harsh on Jack, is I'm a big fan of Jack, and Jack's done his work with us before at the academy. He's got so much ability, but and obviously Nana being a left sider, and I thought the pair of them were superb today, making sure they doubled up with Reece, and I think they kept him quiet for most of the game.
And did that? Reece started coming inside, didn't he, and started cracking off from all over the pitch. And so that's the stop players, you dishearten them, and we did that well, didn't we?
Yeah, look, I thought we nullified their threats today. And don't get me wrong, they got some dangerous boys, some dangerous players. They're a good side, they're up there for a reason. So to come here and to get a result, no matter what the score was, we're more than pleased. Moving
on, Jack, we've got a free week until Saturday when we play Concord at home. 1 win at a time again, but we're on a little run again now, aren't we? It's important after losing on Saturday to try and go on a run, and it's a good chance at home to Concord to try and stretch an unbeaten run.
Definitely, we need to tidy up our home form a little bit. Look, it's been good. Let's not get carried away. We've only lost 4 games all season, but our away form's been excellent. We just need to take that into at home. It's going to be tough next week against Concord, because you're sort of at the other end of the scale. We've played a side in the playoffs today, and we're playing a side that they've got some good players and they've got a good manager, Concord. So it's going to be tough. But hopefully now, in that week's rest, we'll have everybody fit. Obviously Jeff will still be suspended because he's got another 2 games, but everybody else should be fit and available, and we'll make sure we're ready to rock on Saturday.
Okay, well done for that, and thanks for talking to us when we see you Saturday.
All right, Thomas.
All right.